All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do a collective message. I feel like somebody is getting out of a season of maybe being judged or sort of outnumbered, misunderstood, misrepresented, kind of fighting for their truth. With Queen of Swords at the bottom and Temperance, you did stay very patient throughout this process, although it was very hard for you, because I think a lot of people made you feel like, this one wants to come out so bad, Magician in reverse. A lot of manipulative people wanted to make you feel like you didn't have what you had inside of you, but you always had that inside of you. They almost got you trapped in your head for a season or two, because they didn't want you to think you had what you had inside of you. That's just the truth. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the absolute truth. They didn't want you to know that, but you knew that. You didn't ever question that. No, you didn't, but they wanted you to. I think maybe at one point you maybe did feel very trapped in your head, because you were the only person that you could talk to, because nobody else believed you. Nobody else wanted to listen to it, and everybody else told you that what you were saying was not real. They wanted you to feel like you didn't have the power to manifest your outcome. They wanted you to feel like you didn't have the truth inside of you. They wanted you to feel like you couldn't manifest your situation. They wanted you to feel like you had no say-so over kind of the direction of your life. But you stayed down. You held it down 10 toes, baby. Even when you were the only one that was there. You did what you were supposed to do, and that was stay true to yourself, regardless of whatever anybody else was talking about. You knew what the truth was. There were some confusing things that were happening to you that maybe weren't quite so clear at first. I think there was two things that I'm talking about here. The first is that a lot of people did keep things from you. There was a lot of kind of things under the surface that weren't necessarily being discussed out loud. And you sort of had to use your intuition to kind of feel through that energy. So I have Aries energy, Leo energy, and Pisces energy so far on the board. You really had to sort of feel through what was actually happening. So you heavily relied on your intuition. Another portion of that is there was a spiritual aspect to this. There was very much so a spiritual aspect to this. This was something. There was something sort of uncanny around you, kind of otherworldly. Spirit is giving me the nudge to read some of my channeled messages that I got the other day that I haven't necessarily talked about yet. You did bring something to the light in regards to a masculine who was maybe kind of very reserved with their words and their feelings, their energy. They kind of, I don't think that's who it was. I take that back. I think this was you. I think you had to sort of not speak about a lot of things, because obviously, you know, although you did have a light inside of you, you definitely couldn't tell everybody that. They could feel it, they knew, but it was very important for you to not put it on display. Because much like this King of Cups, you said those birds are flocking around him. It's like people kind of could feel that light, that energy, that whatever that was inside of you, they were kind of circling you. I kind of feel circling you. That would make anyone trapped in their head. But all in all, you sort of came to terms with yourself. This is not a relationship. If you were in a relationship, that was not a divine relationship. This connection that I'm talking about is your fifth dimension self with your worldly self, your shadow self with your light, your subconscious and what's actually happening in this world. The version of you on every timeline, you had to blend them all together, because what you were experiencing was quite confusing. You were experiencing your higher self on different timelines. You were experiencing things sort of in advance and delayed, things that you knew were going to happen. You could kind of call it and feel it, and you didn't know how you knew that. Things that you felt were going to happen had already happened, so you were getting like past versions of what was actually occurring, and you were also kind of almost predicting the future, or so you thought, because you know your higher self had already experienced that. you were also seeing people in different realms. You were seeing their true intentions. So for example, if somebody were to present themselves as a mature King of Cups, someone who is sort of kind and put together, and they sort of maybe are just very mature and regulated and kind, but they don't necessarily say everything, and you think, okay, that's fine. You could see them in the spirit realm for what they really were, which is a manipulative piece of shit. Spiritually, of course. So maybe people were wondering, why are you treating that person like that? Why are you, no, they're fine. Why are you treating them like that? But it's like, bitch, you're the birds that are flocking around him. I see that too, in every realm. Pigeon ass bitch. Y'all are the birds that are trapped in y'all's head, not me. Oh, bird brain ass bitches. Yeah. Seriously. You saw the bigger picture. You saw the entire thing. And most importantly, you could see that these people were stuck and stagnant. And they thought you were stuck with them, but you were reflecting. You were never stuck. You were never stuck. You were moving intentionally and with a purpose. They were stuck on every timeline. Bitch, it doesn't matter what timeline you go to, you're a bird brain bitch. That's the truth. That's the truth. They thought that they could maybe present this facade to you that you were in a connection with them, or that they valued you in some way, but you also knew that wasn't true. You moved with intention. So while some would say you were moving too slow, or you were stuck, or you were stagnant, or you weren't moving forward, you weren't making progress. No, I just can't make progress around y'all. I can't be in this environment making progress because you little bird ass bitches are gonna fucking surround me and my blessings and try to take them from me. Y'all are gonna try to take my light. Y'all are gonna act like y'all love me. And y'all are gonna try to manipulate my blessings out of me. But I already saw the bigger picture on every timeline, in every realm. So I have to move calculated because y'all were analyzing me. Y'all were seeing what y'all could get out of me because y'all were empty inside. When it comes down to it, you weren't ever going to be able to tell these people that they were empty vessels, destitute spirits that were fucking NPC ass, bird brain ass bitches that contributed nothing into this world. Because it takes 10 of them to come up against you and they still couldn't win. But at the same time, who do you tell that to when you're only surrounded by bird brain bitches? You were one deep. You were the Queen of Pentacles. And you could not speak everything you knew because you knew everything around you was lies. You at least knew that. You were at least grounded in yourself enough to know that. That what you were seeing was not what it really was. Everything was a little bit disoriented for you. Everything was a little bit, made you a little bit delusional almost at first because you're like, what the fuck is happening? What I feel and what I know and what I sense and what I see and what I hear and whatever, and what y'all are telling me, look, it just flipped. And what y'all are telling me, that's not the truth, but I know the truth and you stuck to your truth. That doesn't mean you had to speak your truth to everybody because I think you realized pretty quickly when you speak the truth, they will not validate you. They will act like you're going crazy because that's their job, because they're honestly stupid anyways, but they just wanted you to believe it. They wanted to take an opportunity from you because they knew what you had inside you. That's the truth. That's the truth. High Priestess and Nine of Pentacles. You stood on your own and you trusted your own fucking intuition. You knew what you knew and you didn't feel the need to explain it to anybody because it became quite evident that they didn't fucking know what the fuck they were talking about. And for the ones that did, you shouldn't tell them anyways. They knew what they were doing. The ones that didn't know were literally the fucking bird brain ass minions. You have a Queen of Wands coming out at the bottom of the deck. This bitch had no connection to source whatsoever. We have Star in reverse Aquarius energy on the board. This bitch had no connection to source. She needed your light. So she needed you to think that y'all were connected. And I think for a little bit, y'all did connect, but I think that you always knew something was really wrong with this bitch because you got that feeling inside of you that you tried to deny at first, but you always fucking knew. You always knew. And she thought she was so fucking slick. She wanted your abundance, your prosperity, your blessings, your gifts, your future, your destiny, your path, your calling. And maybe you didn't notice it at first, but you caught on. Cancer energy on the board. You caught on. Cancer energy coming out twice on the board. Pisces energy twice on the board. Leo energy twice on the board. Gemini energy. You definitely always knew what it was. It doesn't matter what you were going to say. You didn't have to tell them the truth because they never told the truth. So what truth would you be saying? They were always watching you and gossiping about you. That's the truth. I think it took quite a while for you to be able to kind of get out of that situation and understand kind of what was happening. But I think once you did, it all kind of made more sense. With this being a collective message, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next energy. Sorry, my cards got so out of whack. I do want to pull some of my handwritten cards just because I'm feeling guided to do that. And then I do want to read some of my confirmations and my clarifiers. I actually wrote these down 2 days ago. I actually have 2 sets of confirmations that I have not felt guided to share yet. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to share, or maybe both, but I am going to go ahead and do that now. In 1 second here. Sometimes it's okay to just pause and regroup and not feel so pressured to be on everyone else's time. I think that's probably another lesson that you learned as well, to kind of get your bearings straight before pushing forward, because if you're not organized and put together, you can definitely miss something, right? Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Somebody was definitely dealing with a very emotional and emotionally unstable feminine energy. And as soon as I said that, one of my messages from something totally different is leveled up emotionally. You learn to stay calm and centered amidst the chaos. Your shadows don't define you. A few names that I channeled in a completely separate situation that I still have not gotten confirmation on any of them. The few readings that I've done, I don't think they've landed, so I'm going to just say them one more time in case these do apply to anybody. Edward, Charlie, Natalie, Angelica, Onika, and Sam. Also Boston and New York are coming through. The name Kim is coming through, and New York Giants and Knicks is coming through. And Red Sox, I think. I don't know about sports, guys. That's kind of what I gathered from that. And also Steve and Kelly. Steven, or Kelly. Kelly could be a first name or a last name. Okay. Let's see here 1 second. Let me go ahead and butcher these messages here real quick. You need something, baby?
No. Okay. I'm just saying hi.
Oh, hi.
Wait, can I say hi to them?
You can say hi, yeah. This is going to be for my YouTube.
Hello.
This is Elijah. He's my little mini medium over here. He loves tarot and stuff sometimes. Ever so often. All right, let's see, baby. Are you done with the headphones?
6, 7.
You want to read some of my confirmations?
What is that? What does that mean?
Read the numbers.
8, 6, 7, 7, 6, 5, 2, 1, 2, 2, 5, 2.
Ta-da!
What does that mean?
Probably area codes. I just channeled it. I'm not really sure. Could apply to somebody.
What does it mean?
It's just like whenever like area codes to a certain city, like when you type in the phone number and stuff. So that's probably what that means. Who knows? Who knows what spirit tells me what they tell me. I love you, baby.
So this is going on YouTube?
This is gonna go on YouTube. No
What's
edits.
good, YouTube?
What's good, YouTube?
Yeah, what's good, YouTube?
And tell them 13:55 on the timer.
13:55. What does that mean?
Someone could be 13:55, 55 change.
They
13,
old.
13. They could be older. That's not old. I'm 34. 55 is not old. You're 8. So,
yeah, no. That's
bye.
old.
I can't edit this, baby, so there's no way to cut this conversation out. I can't edit because YouTube likes the raw, real deal. April 18th and 19th could be significant as well.
All right, bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
You're so ridiculous. Okay, so some of the confirmations that I got, October 3rd, here's some dates, and I got quite a few dates, and actually 5-5 is one of the dates, so May 5th really could be significant. Someone could be 55, someone could be life path 5, or May 5th could be very significant, or just the 5th of the month in general, or May 1955, who knows, right? So I have October 3rd, I have November 4th, I have August 8th, June 25th, September 9th, so that's interesting. 8-8 and 9-9, I just noticed that. And then 5-5, and then 10-11, so not 10-10, but 10-11. So September 9th, May 5th, October 11th, and then I have May 19th. I also have, what is this? Oh, August 21st. Oh shit. Okay, these were the cards that were the last ones that I put here, and that's weird that they just fell out. Remember I said you could have missed an opportunity, so it's still at the bottom of the deck. But it's upright this time. Okay, maybe someone that's 8/21, so August 21st could be significant, or August of 2021 could be significant. You could be 21, have a 21-year-old, 2021, 2008, or August in general, or life path 8. There was maybe a situation where you were around a not so nurturing presence. I have Empress in reverse. Someone who sort of lacked prosperity and abundance, lacked blessings, lacked nurturing abilities, and definitely you had to defend yourself against her. Could be masculine, but it is coming out as feminine in this case. You maybe had to go into isolation for a little bit, or just sort of be very reserved, but you always had people sort of protecting you and your spirit team. They always protected you. It would almost just make it look like you didn't have what you had inside of you. I think they cloaked you so that you were not really on display for everyone to see your light and your gifts. So there may be sort of a time where a lot of people mistreated you or treated you as if you were a nobody, and that's a good thing, because if they would have known who you really were, that would have been a problem for sure. You feel like you missed an opportunity, but that opportunity is still there. They missed the opportunity. Spirit always was with you. There could have been an earth angel that assisted you, the wings on their back, and then like 2 like spiritual bodyguards, 2 spirits, 2 members of your spirit team, 2 angels. They always had your back. Don't think for one second they didn't. If you ever felt like at that time you didn't have access to your gifts, that's the truth, and that's because you didn't need them at that time, because they had your back and they did not want them to be on display for other people to see. The 17th or 15th of the month could be very significant, also 2015 or 2017. The next date is December 13th, December 26th, the day after Christmas, April 11th, and then February 7th. I also put Tuesdays in general. Yogi Bear, I don't, is that a cartoon or something? I have this in quotes, niceties, so maybe someone is exchanging niceties. Gold rings, somebody may be a little bit standoffish right now, and somebody could have recently made a mutual agreement. Somebody could have recently dyed their hair, or have been thinking about getting a tattoo, or have just been thinking about a lot of tattoos in general, something like that, a tattoo on your mind. The name Don or Donald could be significant. Somebody sleeps with the TV on, that's coming through, very significant. And then somebody is thinking about quitting. Smoking, or they just maybe need to quit. It's kind of overtaking maybe their money or their life, or whatever the case may be, or they've just outgrown it in general. So that came through.
You feel it?
Yeah. Let's see. So right now I have I wrote the old you. Not everything that looks like happiness is happiness. No more idealization. You could have recently had a post-breakup awakening. I'm sorry, I'm still filming and I'm officially a little irritated.
I'm gonna come on.
I understand, thank you. Can we make it quick? Because I've been way too fake nice for YouTube for a while, and I'm already starting, they're gonna see the real me. I'm getting way too upset. I love you very much. The in and out is it's fucking killing me, bro. It's killing me. It's killing me. I don't know how, I can't do fake nice. YouTube is just gonna have to see how I am. I'm getting irritated. I love you. So go ahead and I love you. I love you very much. Give me hugs. I can't, there's no way I can channel like this, sweetheart. There's no way. There's literally no way. The in and out is killing me. You know how I am. I love you. You know how I am. Bye. Mwah. Thank you. Don't come back in here until I'm done filming. Thank you very much. Y'all just give me a minute to not be so irritated. Give me 1 minute, because I get so irritated. Oh, I get so irritated. Like, they know when I'm filming to get the fuck away from me, and they don't do it. They always actually get the fuck away from me. I don't know what the fuck this was. This is making me mad. It was like too many people coming in and out. It broke my whole fucking train of thought. Give me just 1 minute. Anyways, somebody could have recently had a post-breakup awakening. Somebody maybe who was emotionally unavailable. It kind of felt like you were dragging a boulder up a hill alone. That's what that relationship felt like. It definitely helped you get closure and kind of see what self-respect looked like, and just recognizing yourself again. Maybe you didn't feel like yourself for a very long time. You could be 41 or 20. 2014 is maybe when you met them, or that could be a significant date for you. This was actually like a long-term lesson. This was not one where it was like one hit and then you learned it. This was built up over time. You really had to come to terms with who your old self was and who your new self is. Learning discernment and having a wake-up call. That's interesting. I have the 15th and the 16th of the month from a separate day, and it's written here. And I think did I say the 15th and the 16th? Interesting. Very interesting. I also have 2024 here and the 15th again, 15th through 24th. Interesting. I'm just need to find the other. Guys, if y'all knew how much I actually like channel, these notes are crazy. They're too crazy. They're too crazy. I also channeled the name Adam, or possibly the last name Adams, and the name Amelia. Amelia, so maybe like Amelia Adams, double A. And then I wrote blank state and Blanco or Blanco. I don't know what that is. I don't know if maybe I didn't write 2 sets of notes. I guess I didn't. I thought I did. I could have sworn I did. These are just from other sessions, but weird. I just want to double check because I really do remember. Okay, here it is. I think, is this it? Sorry guys, I'm having to get used to YouTube. I really do more TikTok than anything. And I'm used to being able to edit and add little cute words and shit. And so y'all are just having to see the absolute real me right now. I guess I just did 1 page. I can't find the other one. It's so weird. Here it is. Oh, this is a whole thing. Wow. Okay. Interesting. No, this is a lot. No, this was the whole session. I knew. Okay. So I put rebuild. Oh, you're in a season of rebuilding your life right now. 2350 on the timer, if that means anything to you guys. Peace over pain. Stop fixing everyone else's chaos. Stop self-blaming. Stepping out of stepping out of the cave. So like I said earlier, like you might have been like in hermit season, right? And maybe you're getting out of a season of isolation. You're reconnecting to yourself. You're at a spiritual turning point and you're learning to trust your intuition again. That's very important. Light at the end of the tunnel. You're tired of I don't know what that means. Oh, tired of fighting. No need to be right all the time. No need to be right all the time. I believe that says, when I channel, guys, it's actually wild, this handwriting. Okay, so on a separate day, 2 days ago instead of yesterday, I wrote, and keep in mind when I channel, I don't remember, so this is something separate, but it's kind of seems the same. Major turning point phase, protective of image, strong-willed. Maybe there's like a structured home life with no softness, that there was no softness in your home life when you were growing up, or even yet now, if you've kind of created a family or a home life. Maybe you're very empathetic. I'm kind of channeling Queen of Cups when I wrote that. You're in a phase of, or you're getting out of a phase of proving yourself, or you're around somebody who's in a phase of, they feel like they have to prove themselves. You are sort of noticing that you're always pretending to be fine when you're not. But once you get into alignment and start being more emotionally honest, you'll be unstoppable, for sure. Right now, you maybe are a little bit scattered because you continue to attract chaos. And so you're trying to control and juggle everybody else. But the Magician, even though I wrote that, we pulled that in the first round, Magician, gifted and a master manifester. So rebuilding peace, love, and harmony. Your heart is still in the process of opening after dealing with a lot of pain. So just give yourself a little bit of grace. There's a desire for peace, and you don't really need to kind of always feel like you're in charge right now. You're kind of letting go of that control, and the control is never a bad thing. I feel like this was just maybe a trauma response. I got the Emperor card in my mind's eye, and I wrote power, struggle, and leadership, letting go. Something into alignment. Oh, this handwriting, my God. No pride and guilt. You are something graduating into alignment. You're letting go. You're learning that leadership is part of surrender. It's not always controlling everything. Sometimes in order to be a leader, you have to be able to let go and surrender just a bit. And so that was coming through. You were with somebody that fed your ego but starved your spirit. There's a tower moment that you've either recently overcome, or you're in the process of it, or it's heading here. They're going to be first in line in that tower moment. I wrote wife is aware, and I don't know what that means. If you're a wife, you're aware of something occurring, or if you are dealing with somebody who has a wife, they know, or if your wife knows. I mean, there's a wife, it just says wife is aware. They both lived double lives, whatever that means to anybody. Loop of illusion and cycles. There was kind of an unhealed identity wound, and it was very deep. Addicted to drama. So somebody, either you or somebody around you, was addicted to drama because in your head or in their head, they thought chaos equaled passion. So maybe somebody really was addicted to like chaotic love, chronic heartbreak and abandonment trauma. So this was not the first time, this sort of relationship. This could be like a repeating pattern for you or them. I do feel it's for you because you tend to attract that same type of person, that chaotic person. You kind of normalized pain, and you kind of equated pain and suffering to love. Maybe you sort of fit into the narrative of whatever made you feel chosen. So maybe you just sort of went where the wind blew. Like you just kind of did whoever made you feel chosen, that's who you went with because of this abandonment wound. And you could also maybe use intimacy as something. I mean, I've really got to talk to my spirit team about what the fuck I write when I channel, because it's ridiculous. I wish I could read it sometimes. Kind of the whole point, guys. Uses intimacy as currency. Thank you. I don't know who just said that. Somebody in my collective just said that. Thank you. Trauma trained you. You were trained by trauma. Right here, I did right. There's an Empress that's distorted, and right here, look, I have Empress in reverse that fell out last minute, and it was already kind of showing when I was shuffling. That's crazy. And I put seduction equals currency as well. Emotionally unavailable, chases validation from emotionally unavailable men. There's an Empress that's distorted, and she likes taken men. So whoever's taken, that's who she goes after, because she likes to feel like she won over that wife. Will wait or work hard to be with these dismissive people because it's chaotic, and chaos equals love. There's an internalized rejection that she kind of understands that she's worthless, or understands that she feels worthless. So she kind of mirrors that to other people, and other people treat her that way because she puts herself in situations where, you know, it doesn't look too good. So chases emotionally unavailable men. Always in emotional conflict. Sees her part, but not accountable for it. So whoever this is, they definitely understand what they're doing, sort of. They at least know what they're doing is wrong, but they just don't hold themselves accountable in that way. Drama validates existence. There's either different loyalty, deflecting loyalty, people pleasing. I'm not sure what that says, sorry. Risk equals passion, and passion equals chaos, and chaos equals love. Highly suggestible, kind of a pick-me. They would work hard for any impulsive new connections. Always wants someone else's man to see who wins. So it really does make her feel validated in that way. This is what she does. She wants to be chosen. She wants to feel like she's the main woman, or she's the one that got chosen. There's a lot of repetitive as I was channeling, so I had no need to kind of repeat all of these things. I do want to get back into the cards, but never actually gets chosen. Anxious, avoidant, seeks validation. Their inner child feels unwanted, and they need to work on self-respect. This could be you, and this is not coming from a place of hate. This is just me acknowledging what you're going through, and this could be someone that you know. Nonetheless, it doesn't make it good or bad. I'm a very firm believer that there's no such thing as good or bad unless it's evil. There's a such thing as evil. But as far as people operating from a state of trauma, I try to understand as many angles of it as I can, because I work with all kinds of people, and it's always possible to heal. But the first step is just kind of hearing what it is, maybe, or if it applies to you, or understanding someone else's perception, because it's very easy to say, and I'm not by any means saying it's okay to sleep with married men. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's important to understand the psychology kind of why people become the way that they are. And it kind of goes deep. It doesn't excuse it at all, but it is important to understand it. And also what would lead a man to sleep with a woman when they're already married, right? And what would lead a woman to stay with a married man who's married, and he sleeps around and she stays with him. So there's three parts. There's psychology behind all of it. Needs to chase taken men to feel like she has a one-up. Very used to pain and normalizes it. Easily influenced. Addicted to that roller coaster feeling. Peace feels foreign. Never, would peace feel okay. It feels maybe like something is missing. Lives in conflict and projects blame outward. Combative, defensive, and really thrives on emotional conflict. Sometimes she does see her part. So if this is you do sometimes see it, but you really are sort of in this victim mindset, so it doesn't necessarily. And all of this is really playing into these two cards right here, because these two came out in reverse. This is actually kind of crazy that these cards came out in that way, because quite literally this is the distorted Empress, this is the distorted feminine, this is one who clings or is cold. They alternate. They're not emotionally regulated or nurturing in that way, right? So this would be one chasing chaos. And Hermit in reverse to me is like, sure, you got out of a state of isolation, but it also very well could mean that you can't ever be alone. You can't ever think for yourself or think your own thoughts, or be independent, or sort of validate yourself. You're always wanting external validation, and that also plays into this Knight of Cups in reverse. Just accepting false offers, accepting kind of player-like tendencies, accepting these weak-ass, compliments and things like that. So that's also coming through very strong. 3355 could be an angel number. I'll put that in the comments, you guys, because I do think that one applies. 3355. The last two cards that I pulled in this round that kind of fell out, honestly. If something doesn't ignite that spark, that chaos, that passion, that burden, that whatever, right? What they would consider to be love, even though it's quite actually pain, but it's kind of a not, there's no spark in it. You'll block it off. She'll block it off, whoever that may be. They don't want it. And that's how they miss out on opportunities all the time, because of confusion. 7 of Cups. And it's really keeping this person, whether it applies to you or not, it's really keeping this person from kind of getting to their ultimate 10 of Pentacles, because they're always accepting less. than what they deserve. So instead of 10 of Pentacles, which is legacy and family, building their own dynamic, they're just gathering burdens and stress from other people and carrying it with them everywhere they go. And they're also pawning it off on everyone as well. But they'd rather take it than not, and it leaves somebody feeling very mentally tormented. Very much so. So that's coming through very strong. Always waiting her turn is what I wrote. Overcompensating, mimicking the wife's role. Competes with the Empress types. So let's say the Empress upright would be the wife. That's someone who's nurturing and intuitive and creative and abundant, feminine. That's the mother archetype, right? But a one in reverse, you know, the shadow side. And she would go up against those types. Time to confront herself and her choices is what it says. And that makes sense with this Justice card here at the bottom of her manipulative ways. So Justice is like the universe is going to balance out those scales no matter what. When I see this Justice card, especially at the bottom of the deck, that's the universe kind of side-eyeing whatever's going on here. Like, are we going to correct this, or like, do we need to step in? If you're the one that's in the wrong, it's very important to acknowledge what you've done, not to shame you, but to hold yourself accountable and to acknowledge to the universe that you see what's happening here. That's also the card for Libra. Because the universe will balance out those scales, and you may not like the way that they do it. So while you have a chance. Men will always pick someone else before her, never her. So even if this married man were to break up with his wife, he still wouldn't get with her. That's the truth. Exhaustion, validation, and escape. Anxious avoidant. Narc undertones, narcissistic undertones. So he maybe wants the wife, but desires this other, this Empress in reverse, this distorted. Karmic deja vu, I put. Cognitive dissonance. Blames others and emotionally immature. But right there I put her, done. No more blind loyalty, let it die. Time to rebuild herself. No more seeking validation. External validation, and intensity does not equal intimacy. So whoever this is no longer accepting false promises. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's wild. I do want to go ahead and get a few of these oracle cards that I have, because I just keep being reminded to pull some. Let me just straighten these out here real quick. I just feel bad for talking to my baby all crazy, but I swear, like, he knows who I am. I get it's very hard to get in a channeling state, guys. Like, it takes a lot out of me sometimes, and I think that people don't understand how much it takes to read cards, interpret cards, use your intuition, channel, get downloads, backtrack and remember what you wrote in the last session, and then still be communicative. So I'm about to read him another hug again a little bit, but my goodness. He's always the most understanding one, but that was a lot of in and out. It was a little too much for me. And I'll just have to see the real me, because I tried to be the fake me, and Spirit said, no, show them how you really are. Wait a minute, Spirit. Don't do that. They don't need to see that. Let's see. Wow. Hopeless and cursed. I'm falling out here. 1 second. My God. Rejection, beauty, shit, stress. Emotional storm, my God, okay. Sorry, when I'm like in so many sessions back to back, my cards are a little wild out here. What is this one that fell? Evil people think they are good. Time to accept that you have outgrown them. New levels and new devils. What is, all these cards are just jumping out of me. Begin again. You're cold now, but you will love again. After the snow melts, the flowers grow again. Guys, these are just channel messages that I get sometimes, like a little poem or something, or whatever Spirit tells me to write at different occasions. I mean, it's all different handwriting, different pen colors, different, you know. What did you pray for in the past that you're not realizing that you have now? Focus on your home and yourself. You're putting too much energy toward the situation. So that, you know, sleeping with a married man or woman with a smile on their face, there's no way that's at the top. They lie for each other, cover each other's tracks. Someone's hiding for each other. Abundance and success manifestations, okay? Fighting alone. They're not fighting for you, they're fighting against you. Wow. And telepathic. Reading minds and reading thoughts. insecure, compares themselves to you, jealous and envious. So this very well could be someone that maybe, if I'm speaking to the upright Empress, the distorted one was maybe insecure. And I do feel in this collective, I am reading for both. No pain, no gain in reverse. Don't blame yourself. Blame them for taking advantage of your trust. Kindness is not weakness. Wow. Someone could have scars, tattoos. Wow, I did mention tattoos. Or moles. Surgery scar possibly could be significant. So maybe you already have tattoos. You're thinking about getting another one. Or I just got the download. You may want to get a tattoo removed. Maybe if you have like matching tattoos or something like that. Okay with a dirty house and a cluttered mind. So someone could have a dirty house, which is kind of equivalent to a cluttered mind. Their mind could be feeling very jumbled. Positive thinking is causing more trauma. What? Oh, fine line between delusion and positive thinking. Okay. I was about to say, what, Spirit? Oh, man, that's funny. Okay. Night terrors, sleep paralysis, possible astral traveling. Co-worker flirting with your significant other, 2 in your business and keeping tabs. That could be a thing. What's your hidden desire? What is a goal or fantasy that you're too scared to pursue? Someone could be very highly intelligent, possibly neurodivergent, autistic, or ADHD, very socially awkward, unless they're comfortable, but they're very smart, very intelligent, high IQ. They see everything and they know more than you think. That's coming through. I want to maybe get 3 more cards. Get a new job. You're not happy. I see. I feel guided to pick 3 random ones. I'm just not even going to look. I want these 2, whatever these 2 are. This at the top says, what's your calling and purpose? What's your life path? If you haven't looked up your life path number, you should. You can do it on ChatGPT or Google and look it up and look into it and the obstacles that you overcome in your life. What is the next step you need to take? Is what that says. How do people view you and how do you view yourself? That's very important to consider for sure. Fake love. Someone is possibly using you. It's a fake love situation going on here. The top of this one, they're recording you maybe. Maybe they have old recordings of you, old conversations. What is your intuition telling you that you've been ignoring? Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. The soul is strengthened through trial and tribulation. Somebody could wear glasses or contacts. That could be significant. Someone could be a Leo. And I did get Leo in the other cards that I pulled as well. All right, the 3 that I chose. Drinking problem, a high-functioning alcoholic could be very significant. You have a choice to make. You're at a crossroads. This could apply to her or maybe the husband or the wife, either one. But there's a choice to make, I think, on all 3 sides. Like I said, someone's at the crossroads. Are you going to keep sleeping with married men, or are you going to maybe pursue a valid connection that is, you know, not unjust? Are you a married man that is going to continue sleeping with another woman that you're not married to and cheating on your wife? Or are you going to commit to your wife or choose to leave because you can't be faithful to her? And as the wife, are you going to continue to be with the man who's cheating on you? Or are you going to choose yourself? Or maybe raise your standards and hold him accountable? Or is it not worth it? It's time to leave. So I think all 3 are at the crossroads right now, for sure. Negative mindset, shift your thinking. Sorry, something just got really blurry in front of me. That was weird. How are the people in your current energy affecting you? Center of attention naturally, and they are attention seeking. So maybe the wife is already the center of attention kind of naturally, and the distorted Empress is maybe noticing that and wanting attention. Fire sign, drama, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We did get Aries and Leo in the last one. They can't see you for who you truly are because they're not supposed to. My God, remember I said you were being cloaked? God is cloaking your energy to protect you. They're not in alignment with you because they're not supposed to be. That's a good place to end it. I do want to get one of my spirit cards. These are just messages from Spirit, your spirit team, however you care to view that. I do just feel guided to get maybe 1 or 2 for my collective. And with this emotional storm card over here at the bottom of this deck, it's kind of telling me that it's done. Whatever this storm is, turmoil is unstable and being affected, it is kind of coming to an end. It's not so shocking anymore, and there's healing, releasing, purifying, and cleansing. I do feel that. This is a good stage. This is a good stage to be in right now, just sort of processing everything. I know it feels a little bit chaotic, but you're probably just purging a lot of old emotions, a lot of old feelings. 4437, someone could be 44 or 37. 1973 could be significant. April 4th. March 7th or July 3rd could be significant. Someone could be 73. I mean, you know, whatever. Life path 7, life path 3. Could apply to these cards that just jumped out, life path 7 and 3. Where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. Do not compare yourself to others. That only adds pressure. Take each day as it comes and for what it is. And you are a better person than you were yesterday. Growth is not easy, but you've got this. Whatever you have been putting off, don't procrastinate any longer. Tackle that long overdue project and you'll feel better once you begin. Start with one thing at a time. Thoughts and ideas not acted upon are just laying in wait. You can do this. Whenever you talk to your spirit team, it never goes unheard. They hear every single word. This is your confirmation that we are assisting you, guiding you, and ensuring your wishes finally come into fruition. Be patient. Everything will come together for you. You need to ignore what everyone else is doing. Did I read that one already? I swear I just had deja vu. You need to ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Your life is about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. You're not in competition with anyone else. Instead of pushing yourself so hard, breathe and reevaluate. You're doing enough, even if it doesn't feel like it. Don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It's not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. Sounds like a good place. 46:06 on the timer. Thanks, guys.